ignore my typing of what I'm putting. I'll fix it. But you can share it now to your wherever you'd like.
All right.
And now you get to have an interview by me without me having a co-host that's not a fit for me. That was something else. Facebook, look what we have for you here today. We have 3 people who I adore. These are like my heroes. We have the adorable 1-year-old Olivia Brunish. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, can you wave? Can you wave?
Hi, honey. Then we have Jessica Rose Brunish, the mother, the wife. Hi, Jessica. Hello. And we have Corey Brunish right there in the shirt. And this family adores their daughter. Olivia is the luckiest girl, and I wish every mother and father would watch the way these 2 parent. And they put it out there for you to see it every day.
We do. You know, in fairness, we only take 4,000 pictures a day, and we only post 3,000. So it's really, we try to use restraint.
So I want to let you guys know a secret. Corey Brunish is on Wikipedia. Jessica Rose is everything. I think you like being behind the scenes and doing all of the supportive, important stuff behind the scenes. And she's so beautiful. She belongs on the Broadway plays and on the magazine covers. And she's beautiful inside and out. But let's get back to Corey too, because I met Corey first on Facebook, and then he found the most wonderful woman. He's married, they have a child, and you know I love the relationship that you put out there for other people to model. Thank you for doing that. There needs to be more couples like you. Now, Corey is my local Portland hero. He's my New York hero. Yes, you are. And this is so syrupy and sappy. I feel like Oprah on crack right now. But you started doing things in my hometown of Portland that make me cry every time I think of it. Because I grew up in the 50s in Portland. Wow. And Portland was the town that nobody gave a rip about. There was no chance of going from Portland to Broadway that I knew of. Nobody ever made it public. And then along comes Corey and Jess, and they have created a way, a career path, a viable option, and they make it possible for people to go from, I don't know, children's theater in Portland to Broadway in New York City through the Corey Brunish and other things that you direct, produce, star in. And then you have a Tony Award type scenario in Portland once a year. Geez Louise, you're my hero.
Oh, you're very sweet.
I want to know where in the world. Look at your Wikipedia page is everything, Corey. I mean, I don't know what you can't do well. You sing, you write songs, you got albums, you've got a wonderful wife, a wonderful daughter named Olivia, and Jessica. Hi, you're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And so Audrey Hepburn, eat your heart out and rest in peace. Where did it come from to be so wonderful for people?
Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you, sweetie.
You're a philanthropist. You do benefits. The Panthers in Portland are a huge success. You have a theater with your name on it. The only thing with my last name on it is cough drops.
Oh, Olivia. Olivia is very active today.
What would you like to talk about? I can't, I have 15 minutes, and what's important to say?
Well, let's talk about you. You're a stand-up comedian after serving in the armed forces, and now you live in Vegas, the haven for stand-up comics. And you post jokes every day. And sometimes I read one of your jokes and I smile all day long.
That's so awesome. That's so amazing. It's fun to write jokes. It's like the new road rage,
Well, at least you're channeling it into something positive.
Yes, yes. One day I wrote 82 jokes, Corey, and
Yeah.
a 74-year-old comic blocked me on Facebook. And she called me up and she says, I missed my shrink appointment because of you. And I'm like, I've turned it into a whole comedy bit.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so what made you go into acting, singing, directing? How did it develop? Why do you give a rip about other people getting to Broadway? What makes you so wonderful? You too, Jess. Chime in. What's he all about? How did you two meet? And like, I gotta know it all. What made you attract to each other? Was it because he's so wonderful? Was it who found? Listen, I've got 1,000 questions and like 11 minutes left.
Well, we met in the theater lobby in New York. I was assistant directing, and she was there with her identical twin sister. And I famously said, "Which one of you wants to go out with me?" And which is a really brilliant thing to say, don't you think? And so I asked her out for 2 months, and finally, after 2 months, she said yes. And then 2 months into our dating, she let me hold her hand.
Oh.
Yeah. And then a couple of years later, we were married. And then a couple of years later, this thing popped out, if you can believe it. Actually, we got her on eBay. We don't tell a lot of people that. But they were having a sale, so.
How do you look so beautiful, Jessica, being a new mom? I mean, you bounced back from blowing up like a watermelon.
She weighs less now than she did before
No.
the pregnancy. That's true. Look who's there.
Are you peeking?
She's waving. Okay, go
She
for it.
just started waving, didn't she?
She loves it, and she blows kisses.
Jessica.
She just did it, but she's on camera.
We're very proud of you. Okay. Where are you going? Where are you headed? Okay, you go over there. We'll be here.
How many more children do you want to have?
Oh, this is it.
Just Olivia. Just one little shining star.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Do you have play dates? Because of COVID, it's not exactly the best time.
Yeah, with COVID, we don't really. We have one family where we will see them and their kids, but other than that, we keep a closed circle just because of COVID.
There you go.
Yes, yes. She's learning a sense of humor. That's what I told Corey before you came in the room. And you can
She
see
is. She
I can't
definitely.
think of a better family to raise her, husband and wife. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Yeah, she definitely. Her personality's been coming out a lot more in the past few weeks. We're learning
Yes.
about all the little sassiness in her. But then there's also the, precious moments where she loves laying down right here and just going to sleep.
You do too.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh.
Hot.
What's that?
It's a comfy spot.
Yes, that's close to the heart. That's where my daughter used to like to lay too, right there.
See?
Yep.
You know all this.
I get it. I see a lot about my daughter in Olivia.
Oh, I
and
love that.
Yeah, it reminds me of raising my daughter so much. So where did you grow up, Jessica? And what things did you do before you met Corey?
I'm a CPA, and
She's
I grew
from
up
Brooklyn.
in
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn.
represent.
in Brooklyn, New York.
What part?
Midwood.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up there, and then loved going to Broadway shows as an audience member. So that's
And look where it got you. Look where it
we
got you.
have
Look what happened.
right. We have a mutual passion there.
We only see about 100 shows a year. No big deal.
My goodness. And you guys scout out and look for things to bring to Broadway.
How did you know? Who told you that?
It was a man named Corey Brunish last year or the year when I was at Harvey's. You told me. That's so cool that you do that.
Yeah, I mean, if not for COVID, we'd probably be somewhere else Zooming versus where we are now, maybe just because we'd be scouting for a show.
We were on our way to London when it hit, and then we got banned from the country, as you know.
Everybody was just on the crust of doing something wonderful before COVID hit. Nobody ever says, my wife was getting ready to kick me out, and then
Yeah, I had big things coming, big things, but then COVID, I can't. So then nothing happened. That's brilliant. I'm going to use that.
okay. And you can also tag it with, "Oh, so it's your fault."
What's it?
Right?
What is it? Do you want your box? Okay. All right. See, we got the computer sitting on her box, and she wants.
Oh,
That's okay. She's got
she's
other
a good
toys.
girl. She's busy.
Hand in the ear. Olivia, kiss.
She likes projects, doesn't she?
Please.
Hi.
Please.
Where's your inside voice?
Please.
Oh, the unicorn.
So
So
talk
you're
to us
asking-
about your life. I
Well-
want to know, like, take me through it.
So we traveled a lot because my dad was a scholar.
Please.
And was teaching at various universities. So I lived in Belgium and Denmark and the East Coast, and then we settled in LA finally. And at one assembly in high school, there were some drama kids that did a skit, and I thought, that looks like fun. I could probably do that. And so then I joined the drama department, and we did all the big musicals, and then I went to college there that did a lot of shows. We would do 6 in one summer in repertory, and then moved to Portland, did theater here, films here, TV shows here, and it's a natural progression for any actor to become a director and a producer and a writer, because you just get entrenched in the whole. The amazing thing about theater is they did this study in London, and they hooked up heart monitors to the entire audience. And during the show, the heartbeats synchronized. So it is truly a communal experience. And as far as music, we're very much into musicals. They've revealed that we don't like music because of the way it sounds. We like music because of the way it makes us feel. So it's a very visceral reaction that we have. And that's why it's so important to us. And that's why the music we grow up with stays with us forever. Even if it isn't particularly good music, it's just part of us. It's woven into our DNA, so to speak. And there's a famous quote that says, theater is the most immediate way we can connect with what it is to be human. And that's why we're there. We're there to figure out how we feel about things and how the people around us feel about things. And that's why it's so very, very, very important. It's not to be taken lightly. It's more important than anybody realizes.
Wow.
That we gather together. Just like stand-up comedy, we're there to figure out, what's going on. No, was it? Did you think that was funny? And it's taking the temperature of the community, of the civilization, of the society, and pushing the boundaries, and surprising us and entertaining us and getting us to forget our troubles. I mean, all of these things are so important to that gathering together.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we gather together and something triggers us to laugh, it's when you're in a crowd, it's exponentially
Yes.
so.
Yes, that's
And
exactly.
like we're missing that right now because
Oh boy, we're all at home with the Netflix.
Yes.
We're laughing by ourselves.
Yeah. Talk to me about your passion to see Broadway reopen, if you would. Can you touch on that?
Well, we're looking at spring. There are a couple of shows slated for spring, and if that doesn't happen, it'll be the fall after this fall. It's very important that it be done correctly so that people know that it's safe. We have to take every precaution, whether we wait for the vaccine or whether we take out most of the seats or whether we spray down the theater or demand that everyone wear masks or whatever it is. We're going to do it. We're going to keep the actors safe. We're going to keep the audience safe, and we're going to have that glee and that ecstasy of live theater again. But we have to wait for the right moment.
And we don't know when that is yet, right?
We do not.
Can you talk to me about Broadway Cares? I know that's a passion of your guys's.
Yeah, Broadway Cares is started as a way to help those with AIDS. And now it helps people in every state of the union with whatever health problems they have. If they're a member of the theater community, they can come to Broadway Cares and receive financial aid for their care. Yeah.
Wow. So I don't want to keep you beyond the time frame that you gave me, and we're a minute past it, but I would like to give you as much time right now for you to talk to people about what you want them to know about marriage, raising a child, being in the business, how to get picked for Broadway, what not to do in an interview, how to support your husband, anything you guys want to say.
Well, there was a really interesting speech that an actor gave after a show once, and he said, yeah, you should train as an actor, a dancer, a singer. Training is important. Yes, that's true. But more important than any of that is to be a good person. If you're not a good person, if you haven't learned how to be a good person, then nobody cares. You're not going to be a great actor if you're not a great person first.
Wow.
Because the creative process is so difficult and so fraught with tensions and insecurities and doubts and conflict that theater will evolve into this truly great art form if we learn to be good people first. If everybody in that room is a good person who's looking out for the big picture instead of themselves, then we have a miracle. Yeah.
That's something else. If everybody in every group that ever existed would take that, our problems are solved.
Yeah.
It's like Nobel Peace Prize stuff there, Corey. Oh my gosh. Jessica, speak to women who aren't married, want a relationship, or are married, and sometimes they're supportive. I always see you being supportive.
I think it's a lot about a give and take versus just a take. It's just, I think relationships are all about that. And if you have the love there, it can survive anything.
Yes.
I think that's key, really, the give and take.
What's it like for you too? I know you do a lot of things, but you meet a lot of stars. What's that? I'm going to ask you questions all day long. You have to tell me when to stop. You're still there, so I'm still throwing out questions. That'll be my last question. What's that like, meeting Taylor Swift and you name it? You've met them.
Well, to be honest, I think the most starstruck I was with Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah, she was probably my most starstruck. But I think it's a pleasure to meet them, and it's nice to see what they're really like in person.
Yes.
And
Al Pacino told me never to drop names, and so I just won't.
He told you never to what?
Drop names.
That's hysterical.
We met a lot of stars. They're generally very nice, probably 99%, and the other 1% have something else on their mind, and so that unfortunately we'll always remember them that way.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
when your fans come to see you, be sure to be nice.
Okay, I promise.
As if you wouldn't be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? When wouldn't I be nice?
Exactly.
When I get triggered.
Yeah.
You guys are so awesome. Where can people help your numbers or support you or support a cause? What do you want to leave? You can tell me as many places that you want support.
Well, we're certainly supportive of Broadway Cares, as we talked about, and just be supportive of theater.
Be supportive of one another.
There are 150,000 people who work in community theater in the United States, who make a living. And so let's support local theater. You know, Broadway, sure, yes. 74, 74 million people see theater every year. Come here, you little munchkin. Come here, come together. Come here.
Oh, you want blocks?
Yeah.
Olivia, I love you.
Say thank you.
I love you. Yes, I do, honey. You're beautiful.
Kiss, kiss.
Look at, look at,
Mwah. Give kiss.
give kiss.
Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Mommy?
You little squirmwort. Look at you.
You guys are awesome. Before we leave, I want you to tell everybody how many Broadway plays you've produced, been in, and how many awards you've gotten, so that people know this is no schlub on the subway.
I think we've produced about 30, and I've been in 2. I've assistant directed 1, and but I really get a lot of joy from producing because the best idea wins. You know what I mean? And so it's a team effort, and so you get a lot of satisfaction out of helping to guide that process through. And we've been very lucky. We've had quite a few nominations and quite a few wins, and we're just very lucky and very happy to be part of the community.
That's wonderful. Anybody that gets to see your pictures on Facebook, Olivia, or gets to see your daddy and mommy doing Broadway stuff, they're so blessed to see you guys. And thank you so much for the wonderful interview time.
Thank you.
It was
for
our
having
pleasure.
us.
It was our pleasure.
Yes, it
Come
was.
to Vegas.
Do it. We will.
We will. You know we will.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.